Hey everybody, welcome back to Northernlion. Play Slay the Spire. 2 dailies so far, they've been tough. They've been tough dailies. It looks like we got a couple of winners today. That doesn't bode well for me. No, you wouldn't. It's like the same thing. Enemies, it's exactly the same negatives. The positive is you start with 2 colorless cards. Yo, Metacritic, if that is your real name. I know your name is Megacrit. Stop this. We're on such a good trajectory. But you see, you always got this red here. Green, red, red, red. No. Green, green, red, red. That's the real business right there. You don't have to stack the cards against me. Enemies starting with +3 strength is just outrageous. We're gonna try. We'll see how far we can get, because it's more engaging than, you know, me losing on Ascension mode for the 500th time in a row. And plus, yesterday, I thought we did okay. We obviously didn't win, but neither did, like, almost literally anyone else playing the game. Dramatic Entrance is pretty good. Trip is also pretty good. Enemies starting with +3 strength. Good God, what do we do about that? Hit as little combat as necessary, I guess. We'll start here. And we're the silent. The free 6 damage right off the bat, sign me up. What we tried yesterday, and again, it didn't work, but I thought it did. If I'm being honest with you, I know I can't speak right now. I know what you're thinking. I can see the reason. Don't tell me because it hurts. I think we played above average yesterday. I think we ended up ranking what I would consider to be relatively well. Oh, good. +6 strength. I could kill you with 3 strikes. And we got 3 strikes. But people were tweeting me and they were like, I ran a defensive build and it worked out relatively well. And I was like, you know what? That's a really good idea. I did not consider running a defensive build at all. I went full offense. I'm going to take Sucker Punch. Only because we don't have anything else to enable Catalyst thus far, but I'm going to think about maybe going... I'm going to lose the HP even though it kills me. I'm going to think about going for a little bit more of a defensive build should the cards show up. I mean, in the end, it does to some extent. So we can do 9 damage and then probably kill you with something else here. In the end, it probably does depend. You're not vulnerable. It probably does depend on the cards that show up, but we'll see. Anyway, I don't expect to win this one, because enemies starting with +3 HP, or +3 strength is just ridiculous. Like, it's so difficult for us to overcome that, but we're gonna try. If we can get past the first floor, I'd be relatively happy. And then, you know, set your sights high. It's a shame because I have been enjoying the dailies. I think they need 2 positives, 2 negatives, instead of always stacking the deck against you. Especially, like, lethal enemies is impossible. Things costing 25% more, who cares? You can no longer heal when entering new acts. That's pretty bad, but it's really, like, this just renders the run incomprehensible. I'm gonna try a little leg sweep action here, even though it's expensive. To put it into perspective, by the way, for why this is so bad, consider that if you get the Philosopher's Stone as a boss relic, it gives all enemies forever +2 strength. And what's the positive? You get 1 extra energy per turn. So lethal enemies is literally 150% of the negative effect from Philosopher's Stone with none of the positive, and it starts immediately. So if you're watching this and you're going, we'll get rid of a strike. And you're going like, oh, NL, you're stinking at these dailies. Then what's the problem? The problem is that it's flipping impossible. We should buy something. Honestly, being able to do 17 damage to an enemy at the start of every game seems really good. So does Bullet Time, and even Die, Die, Die. Especially in a thin deck, but it does get exhausted when it gets used. I think I like Backstab. If our best defense right now is a good offense so we don't get hit, I really don't want to rest, but I'm going to, so we're clear to fight the elite. This is maybe a potentially disastrous situation, but I'm really focusing on survival right now. Anyway, we can do 17 damage right off the bat. It's insanely useful. We'll just weaken this guy for next turn. It's insanely useful, but then we run out of that top-end damage really quickly. So you're only dealing 6 damage. That's not that impressive. I could kill you next turn. I will kill you next turn, because the vulnerability lasts, So far, so good. We haven't taken any damage in combat, which is surprising, to be honest with you. Our deck is not necessarily defensively focused, but, you know, once you get rid of those first 2 innate cards that are attacks, it does become much more defensive, I think. Now, Deflect I don't think does anything for us without card draw yet. I think we're happier to get, like, Flying Knee for the extra energy. Oh, thank God for Dramatic Entrance. But use your noggin. I think we have to kill you on turn 1. Like so. And then we still got 12 damage coming out. You're such a problem. I think we block. No, we don't need to. We don't need to block. I think we do it like this. I know this guy's gonna shield, and that's annoying. But we've taken out 2 enemies. This guy still gets 1 more turn before he attacks, I think. And how much do you protect? 7. That's not that bad. 3 strikes kills you, and he's still doing nothing. 14 damage. Easy. Easy. So for right now, I have to be honest with you, things are going surprisingly well. I don't expect that to last forever. This is a bad turn for us, but life goes on. If he's attacking, that means he's only going to have 3 HP next turn anyway. I'm really surprised we haven't taken any damage so far, but all it takes is one, you know, bad elite fight to tilt things into the super negatives. I think dodge and roll, even though Piercing Wail could save us, dodge and roll is kind of like more consistent, I think. Piercing Wail, you gotta draw it at the right time. Unceasing Top can be good. We don't have enough energy or 0-cost cards to make it work yet, but there's, like, if we get a combo-focused deck, then that's great news. You might be saying, well, NL... Let's see. NL, what if you fight the Time Lord? Dude, if I get to the Time Lord on floor 3, I'm gonna have like the 3rd highest score on Earth in this daily right now, so I'd be stoked. Bane, I don't know if I want it. Choke, don't know if I want it. Neutralize for sure. So it's Injury, Bane, Choke, Neutralize. Glass Knife, Deep Breath. Injury, Neutralize. I'll take a second Neutralize for free. Synergizes with the top. We know that it exists. There were some good cards in there. I'm sad we couldn't get them. Life goes on. Alright. These guys are annoying. We could probably take you out on turn 1, but it is going to make us vulnerable. We could use our block potion to get around it. We know we want to do this. And we know we want to do this, but the question is to who? I think we just got to knock you out. How about you make me vulnerable for 2 turns? Can I kill you? 11? 8? I can't kill you. If we're vulnerable, you're going to be dealing 19 damage, which is like Survivor plus block potion, and I'd have to find a way to kill you. I think this is still better. 8. We could take 6 damage or we can take 0. So I'm going to take 0 and use the block potion because our HP is a much more precious resource than normal. So we're probably going to have a good chance to get neutralized on this turn. 11, 5, 5, 4 plus 4 block for our next turn. Oh, we drew another card. That's right. Not that it matters because the only thing that would have helped was neutralize to begin with. But you added a wound. We only need 16 damage. Many ways to get there. And I think we'll get there. So far, so decent. Every single one of these cards is so important. Place a card from your hand on top of your draw pile. It costs 0 until it's played. It seems like it fits with Unceasing Top. Like if we put Leg Sweep on top. Spent 1 energy. How are we going to get the draw, though? You know, I think it's close, but I think this is a skip. So here's the moment of truth. Again, we learned our lesson. Stop attacking the middle one first. So it's Dramatic Entrance for sure. Backstab for 0 is obviously our play. And then I think we love Flying Knee leg sweep, which is not going to apply weakness, but does give us 12 block, which means we take no damage. So next turn, you're going to debuff, and you're going to attack. So all we need to do, we're probably going to have to take some damage. We should accept that. We might be able to get around it by using our potion if we get a 7 energy attack. Well, we know, like, neutralize and strike is not going to do the job. So here's what we're going to do. Strike, neutralize, poison potion. That saves us 8 damage. So I think that's acceptable. Then you're dealing 11. So let's dodge roll survivor. We should have dodge rolled defend survivor, but actually this worked out because we just got an extra attack out of it. Fine by me. We want those neutralizes to kill their artifacts, but it's okay. So there should be another 11 damage coming out next turn. And we already have 4 block. So we should run the numbers here. If we can kill you, we should make sure you get vulnerable instead of weakened. So let's assume I neutralize, you go down to 20. I vulnerable you. You would take 11 followed by 9. You should literally die. Unless my math... It's only dealing 10! Are you kidding me? At least it applies weakness, but... Ugh. It's pretty minor. I was really hoping for neutralize. But hey, we get to purge one of those from our deck anyway. It's pretty minor because we're still not taking any damage, but... Slight bummer. Basically, it's like, what's 7... times 1.5. Is it 10 or 11? It depends on the way the game chooses to do its math. So, I think this is an easy choice. I think, yeah, okay. I think we flying knee for next turn energy on this guy. It's a super overkill. Then we neutralize you. Then we leg sweep you. You're weakened. We take no damage. Acceptable. So this is not a good turn for us, but we do get to purge 2 days, so we essentially break even. Our deck is like half dazed at this point. We only need to play 2 of these. Potentially dead next turn, but I wouldn't get your hopes up too far just yet. We're gonna be 1 away, which is kind of hilarious, but really... Well, we're not guaranteed to kill you next turn, but in all likelihood, you're probably in trouble. Wow. Pretty close. Bag of marbles. Okay, every enemy starting with vulnerable makes dramatic entrance and backstab so much better. I love a little die. We gotta think, by the way, we need crowd control, because what enemy is gonna kill us on floor 2? The birds. They're gonna destroy us. I think adding this card is fine, even over well-laid plans. I think I want to try to fight the elite. And this could be a decision that ends up killing us, but if we get a good relic, who knows, right? It could be a decision that makes our day. I don't think we need madness. You know, we could remove a card, but it's fairly expensive. I think we might want to save our money so that we can remove a curse if we manage to get one. We're fighting this lord. He starts weak, so we really want to crush him on turn 1. And we got pretty lucky, I think. Certainly, smack him, backstab him, sucker punch him, give him a little die. And I honestly think we want to draw 3 more. Give him a neutralize so he's weak for 1 more turn, and we got another strike, which was exactly what I was asking for. We might be able to kill him in 2 turns. Which would be probably the best we've ever done. And then, of course, my dude literally, like, we got no blocks. Or sorry, we got no strikes. He's still going to be vulnerable next turn, and we're taking no damage, but we did have to make him a little stronger to get this to happen. Still, that was a really good fight. This went extremely positively for us. Runic Dodecahedron, if your HP is full, gain energy at the start of your turn. That probably won't matter at all after this, but Sucker Punch is good, but we already got 1 in 20 right now. I think I'm okay with it. Runic Dodecahedron is good for now. What gets upgraded? I think you have to look at it and say an extra, essentially an extra 6 damage. Instead of 15, well, instead of 16 will be dealing 22. Or, instead of 9, we'll be dealing 12. Let's go for Dramatic Entrance. It's not great, it's worse to use against the boss, obviously, but it's better against crowd control situations like the birds, which are going to be more relevant, I think. Okay, so you starting vulnerable means we want to go just destroy you on turn 1. Like, Dramatic Entrance, backstab. We might as well die you. Then you're going to transform. We can't roll over any energy, so I think I might as well just take extra energy on the next turn from Flying Knee, and obviously we don't need to do anything else. Now, if we play our cards right, this is like one of the best bosses I think we could fight on a daily in which we don't heal between floors. I think we should do it like this. By weakening him, we're in a much better position. Oh, Unceasing Top totally would have worked. Okay, it's a bad habit to be like, we're out of energy, or we're out of cards, hit end turn. Like, I'm trying to save 10 seconds, but it's actually literally like 2 seconds. So we're already blocking enough. We should still play Trip. 16, you're only, yeah, I should hit you. Okay. So once we get rid of our opening salvo, our cards are a lot worse for dealing damage. We got some okay ones in there. Oh my god, you're dealing 24 damage. So a neutralize is just outrageously good. We're not going to block 24 though. We're just going to play our cards. We're hoping for a neutralize, which we did not get. Alright, so we're going to not have 4 energy anymore. It's okay. I think we just play the left 4 cards. Neutralize, Flying Knee, Strike. There you go. He's about half dead. We should definitely live, which is a good start. I find that when you live, it makes for the best runs you could ever imagine. He remains weak even longer, which is lovely. We can afford to Sucker Punch and make him weak even longer than that. Might as well play one of those. And we're honestly not looking like we're in terrible shape for the second floor. But time will tell. Like, the second floor enemies are a huge step up. We should defend early here, but... And we might as well just play everything, right? So we'll neutralize first. Oh, we don't have enough block. So we are going to take some damage. But I still think it's worth hitting. Okay. I think you'd strike while he's vulnerable, in the hopes that you can still punch through him here. Ugh. This is him when he's weak, which is a scary thought. Well, with 4 energy, I think we strike, leg sweep, keep him weak as long as possible, and survivor, we're still going to take 4 damage, and it's looking mildly dicey, but he always chooses not to attack after that, which is ideal. So hit him, hit him, hit him. Doesn't really matter at this point. Are we going to do 26 damage to him next turn? It's almost unfathomable. We actually have to do 35, so it's even more unfathomable. The fact that he's doing this much damage when he's weak... 17, is an exact representation. There's no point to playing Strike, by the way, because he has 6 block. It's an exact representation of what's wrong. Oh, it was neutralized too. But he's already weak for 6 turns. Sure, it's bad, but... We're going to be debuffed here, which is extremely terrible. But, like, +3 strength is actually almost impossible to get over. He's actually lethaling us this turn. Unless we can split him. 9, 7, 6. That's only 22 damage. That's not going to split him. He's already weak. If we defend, you're dealing 36 damage. A defend still kills us. Wow. Okay, so, like, the run went south faster than, like, I've ever seen. Turns out that 3 damage may indeed have made a big difference. But I don't think I've ever gotten more annoyed with a mode as quickly as I've gotten annoyed with the daily challenges. 2 days ago? We're way down here. Oh, there we go, 137. But I don't trust these leaderboards. 137 seems way too good. A lot of people stuck in like the 110 region. It's not like we were crushing it, but no scores available. Yeah, so we were like 50% of the way up the leaderboard here. Dude, like, they're just a little bit too punishing, in my opinion, right off the bat here. We'll be back probably with a normal Slay the Spire episode tomorrow. I realized this one was a little bit on the shorter side, but I came by it honestly. I'm not going to say that we played 100% optimally throughout the challenge, but sometimes the cards go your way, sometimes they don't. For now, thanks for watching. I hope you've commiserated alongside me. I'm a little bummed, honestly, because, like, it seemed like we were doing really well. We took no damage, essentially, almost until the boss. And then the boss just crushed us. Really, it's once we had hit an enemy that had so much HP, our opening turn didn't kill them, we were done. I sincerely think if we got past him, we would have had an okay time on floor 2. I think we would have had a chance to make it a little further than yesterday, but I love you, Mega Crit. Just stop listening to the comments of the people who are lords of this game. You're tilting the difficulty too far, in my opinion. Just one layman's opinion. In the difficult direction, by making the daily challenges implausible. Give 2 positives and 2 negatives, because the positives aren't even necessarily that good. Start with 2 colorless cards, versus all enemies have +3 strength. It's really like half a positive and 3 negatives. I'm not salty, I'm loving the variety, but come on, meet me in the middle here. Anyway, this is a big old crab leg. One day we'll reach the top. Thanks for watching. Apologies for the length, and I'll see you next time.